we get the camera turned on at the jail, please? Maybe not. Ms. Miller, can you get the camera turned on at the jail?
I'm calling.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I apologize for the delay. She is en route.
Okay.
Uh,
That's all right, Deputy Gregory. We're good. We'll just wait. Thank you for turning on the
Okay.
camera. We were
Okay.
just into the black hole.
Thank you.
Making sure I can share my screen like I want to. Okay, that's the written plea admonishments and stipulation of evidence that I'm going to swear Ms. Ross to in a little bit. So I think that's good.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, Ms. Ross. How are you?
I'm okay. I gotta catch my breath.
Okay. Well, here we go. We're going to start your hearing. This is cause number 114020116, State of Texas versus Cecilia Ross, counts for the state, for the defendant, and the defendant are present. When I say we're present, we're on a Zoom video conference that is live streamed to the court YouTube channel. Is the state ready?
We're ready, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
We are, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ross, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am, I hear you. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is show you a document that we're going to talk about for a minute. This is the document that you and Mr. Harrison signed. It's the written plea admonishments and stipulation of evidence. In this document, you say really that you're the same person who's was placed on probation in this case, and that you violated probation as set forth in the paragraphs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 in the state's motion. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is swear you to the contents of this document. See, this right here is what I'm going to sign. This right here is your signature. Please raise your right hand to be sworn.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the statements set forth in the written plea admonishments and stipulation of evidence are true and correct, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And also, you're going to make some statements in this hearing under oath. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Ross.
Okay.
Ms. Ross, do you read, write, and understand English?
Yes, ma'am, pretty good.
Okay, good. Let me know if there's something you don't understand, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you consumed any alcoholic beverage in the last 24 hours?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence today of any drug, narcotic, controlled substance, or any medication that would prevent you from understanding what we're doing in court today?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Have you ever been confined in a mental hospital?
Oh, maybe years ago, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Years ago.
All right. Are you under any current psychiatric treatment?
No, ma'am.
All right. Hang on, Mr. Harrison. Are you taking any medication?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am seeing somebody whenever they come, but I don't know like what dates and all that. Whenever I'm
Right.
a student, I never know. They just
Right.
come.
I understand that. Okay. So we were waiting for you to go to a treatment program because there had been a finding of incompetence. And it took so long because of the virus, and you were receiving care there in the jail, that Mr. Harrison believed that you were competent. And so he asked the court to have another evaluation done, and the court did have another evaluation done, and we've received the results of that evaluation. Is either of Mr. Harrison or Mr. Coltman requesting the court to take judicial notice of the most recent report from Dr. Proctor?
We would, Your
I would.
Honor.
All right, both parties having requested the court take judicial notice of Dr. Proctor's report, the court does so. Dr. Proctor has found Ms. Ross competent to proceed with her proceeding today. Mr. Harrison, is there anything you wanted to add?
Judge, I think Dr. Proctor found her incompetent originally. I believe was it Dr. Dunn that did the
You're right.
second evaluation?
You're right, Dr. Dunn gave this opinion. That is correct, my fault. So anyway, it is Dr. Dunn's report finding Ms. Ross competent. Is there any, is either party requesting a jury trial on the issue of competence?
The state is not, Your Honor.
Defense is not, Your Honor.
Is there any objection to the court proceeding on a finding of competence with Ms. Ross?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I missed that.
Any objection to the court proceeding on a finding of competence?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, the court then, based on Dr. Dunn's report, does find Ms. Ross competent to proceed. Ms. Ross, you are taking some medication, right?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Is there anything about the medicine that keeps you from understanding what we're doing?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay. You're represented by Mr. Harrison, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Have you had plenty of time to talk to Mr. Harrison about how you're proceeding in your case?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrison, are you confident you've had plenty of time to visit with Ms. Ross and that she understands the consequences of entering pleas of truth?
I am so satisfied, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ross, in this case, you have a number of rights. You can cross-examine and confront the state's witnesses. You can call witnesses yourself. You can testify or not as you choose. You can require the state to prove by the requisite burden of proof that you are the same person who was placed on probation in this case, and that you violated probation as set forth in the state's motion. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a plea of true, guilty, or nolo contendere may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if you're presently serving on probation or parole, a finding of true in this case could be used to revoke your probation or parole.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
It could also be used to enhance the punishment in a future case you might have.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by signing the written plea admonishments and stipulation of evidence that you're telling the court you want to waive and give up those rights, dispose of this case by pleading true that you are the same person who was placed on probation in this case, true that you violated probation as set forth in the state's motion?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. In the original case, hold on, I'm gonna have to change my screen just a minute. I'm not gonna share it, but I have to change it. In the original case, Ms. Ross, you were charged with the offense of theft. You appeared before the court. You said you wanted to waive your right to a jury trial and enter a plea of guilty. You did waive your right to a jury trial. You did enter a plea of guilty. Eventually, the court found you guilty and sentenced you to 2 years in the state jail and a $10,000 fine. Do you recall all of that?
You said they sentenced me to 2 years? No, sir. No, ma'am. I received probation.
Hang on just a minute. You did receive probation, Ms. Ross. You were convicted of the offense and sentenced to 2 years in the state jail, but probated for a period of 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Subject to conditions of probation. You
That's
recall?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
All right, and there was not a fine assessed, and it's incorrect on the written plea admonishments, the stipulation of evidence that the court could assess a fine. So it was 2 years, probated for 5 years, subject to conditions of probation. Is that what you recall?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. At the time you were placed on probation, you received a copy of the conditions of probation, right?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
You read them and understood them?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that the state has filed a motion to revoke your probation?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
If I find the allegations true, I could revoke your probation and sentence you anywhere from 180 days to 2 years in the state jail without a fine. Is that your understanding of the possible results of this hearing?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Do you understand that there are generally no plea agreements on a motion to revoke your probation?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you're going to enter pleas of true, it's because the allegations are true and not for any other reason. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
With that understanding, paragraph 1 alleges you are the same person who was placed on probation in this case under certain terms and conditions of probation. Is your plea to paragraph 1 true or not true?
True.
All right. Paragraph 2 alleges that the defendant, Ceciliana Ross, has violated the conditions of community supervision in that the said Ceciliana Ross failed to pay the urinalysis monthly service fee of the months of September, November, and December 2019 and January 2020. Your plea to paragraph 2 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 3 alleges that the defendant, Ceciliana Ross, has violated the conditions of community supervision in that the said Ceciliana Ross did fail to report and submit to a random urinalysis on the 13th day of May 2016, the 12th day of August 2016, the 25th day of January 2017, the 27th of April 27th, I think that's a typo, the 9th day of October 2017, the 30th day of April 2017, the 17th day of April 2019, and the 6th day of January 2020. Your plea to paragraph 3 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 4 alleges that the defendant, Ceciliana Ross, has violated the conditions of community supervision in that the said Ceciliana Ross failed to satisfactorily perform community service restitution as directed by the supervision officer for the months of June to October 2016, January, February, March, April, May, August, September, October, and November 2017, January to October 2018, January to December 2019, January 2020. Your plea to paragraph 4 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 5 alleges that the defendant, Ceciliana Ross, has violated the conditions of community supervision in that the said Ceciliana Ross failed to pay $60 per month supervision fee to the Smith County Community Supervision and Corrections Department in Smith County, Texas, on or before the 10th day of each month for the months of November 2016, January, March, May, September, November, and December 2017, January, April, May, June, July, August, September, and December 2018, September, November, and December 2019, and January 2020. Your plea to paragraph 5 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor. True.
Thank you. Hang on just a second. There's several remaining paragraphs having to do with the payment of fees, specifically 6, 7, 8, and 9. Any objection to the court not reading those paragraphs in their entirety?
No objection.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ross, paragraph 6 then alleges you failed to pay court costs for several months. Your plea to paragraph 6 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 7 alleges you failed to pay $15 for the substance abuse questionnaire. Your plea to paragraph 7 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 8 alleges you failed to pay $50 for Crime Stoppers program. Your plea to paragraph 8 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 9 alleges that you failed to pay $100 for the preparation of the pre-sentence investigation report. Your plea to paragraph 9 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Paragraph 10 alleges that the defendant, Ceciliana Ross, has violated the conditions of community supervision in that the said Ceciliana Ross failed to successfully complete the theft intervention program within 90 days as directed by the supervision officer. Your plea to paragraph 10 is true or not true?
That's true, Your Honor.
Paragraph 11 alleges that the defendant, Ceciliana Ross, has violated the conditions of community supervision in that the said Ceciliana Ross failed to obtain a GED on or before the 11th day of May 2017. Your plea to paragraph 11 is true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Ms. Ross, you've entered pleas are true to all the paragraphs set forth in the state's motion. Are you pleading true because the allegations are true and not for any other reason?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Is anybody making you plead true?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you or promised you anything to get you to enter a plea of true?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
You're entering these pleas of true because it's true you violated your probation.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor. I did.
Okay, thank you. The court finds your pleas of true are made freely, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily, and that you are pleading true because the allegations are true and not for any other reason. The court would now hear evidence in this case on behalf of the state.
We'd offer states 1, the plea packet with signed waivers and admonishments. States 2, states 1, the plea packet with signed waivers, admonishments, and stipulation of evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, states 1 is admitted. Any additional evidence from the state on the on this case?
I'd ask the court take judicial notice of the PSI as well as the court's file.
Mr. Harrison, any evidence from you?
No, Your Honor.
States 1 is admitted. The court does have before it and takes judicial notice of the file and the electronic docket sheet and the PSI. There being no other evidence, is there any argument from the state?
Your Honor, we just ask that you grant the state's motion, find it true that the defendant violated her probation, and modify the sentence originally assessed to a 10-month state jail sentence, Your Honor.
Mr. Harrison?
Your Honor, I would concur with that. There's no question that Ms. Ross violated the conditions of her probation. I do believe the 10-month sentence would be sufficient to satisfy the ends of justice in this case, and we would join the state and ask for a 10-month sentence with credit for time served.
Ms. Ross, the court has heard your pleas of true to paragraphs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and the evidence presented. Having heard the pleas and the evidence, the court finds it's true that you violated your probation. Specifically, the court finds paragraphs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 to be true. Having found it true you violated your probation, the court revoked your probation. The court is modifying your earlier sentence of 2 years to be a sentence of 10 months in the state jail without a fine. Is there any legal reason why this sentence cannot be formally pronounced at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Sentence is formally pronounced at this time. Ms. Ross, you've been found guilty. You have the right to appeal. Any notice of appeal must be given in writing and timely filed. That means filing written notice of appeal within 30 days, unless within 30 days you file a written motion for new trial, in which case you would have 90 days to file a written notice of appeal. If you could not afford a lawyer to represent you on appeal, the court could appoint one for you. Mr. Harrison, do you know if Ms. Ross wishes to give notice of appeal?
She does not, Your Honor.
Are you all urging your waivers?
We are, Your Honor.
Is that right, Ms. Ross? You want to give up your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
The court approves the waiver of motion for new trial, motion and arrest of judgment, waiver of right to appeal. You've been represented by Mr. Harrison. Are you satisfied with his services to you?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further from the state?
Not on this case, Your Honor.
From the defense?
Your Honor, I know that this would go without saying, but I know my client would like to hear the court say that she does get credit for the time she served.
I think I probably said it, but I probably said it fast like I always do, Mr. Harrison. Sorry for that. Hang on just a minute. Ms. Ross, it is true. If I didn't say it earlier, you do get credit for all of the time that you have served in the Smith County Jail while you were waiting for your proceeding.
So I can go home.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge Kennedy. Thank
welcome,
you. Thank y'all.
Okay, wait, hang on. We're not quite finished. That's exactly right. Well, I'm trying to count. Yes, I think the time served on all of that. We'll have to confirm the credit for time served, but at most it would be a day or two either way. As soon the court is going to send a change of status to the jail today. It says you're to be released after 30 days, after 10 months. And if you've already served 10 months, then I'm sure you'll be released today. That's how that's going to work.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Judge Kennedy.
You're welcome. I'm sorry it's been such a long road. It was a difficult to have a case. I have one more thing I need to visit with you about.
Yes, ma'am.
By the order the court has entered today, you have become ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition beginning now could result in additional charges against you.
Yes,
if you have questions about what constitutes a firearm, you should refer to the information that the court gave you about what constitutes a firearm. If you have questions about how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, or about the prohibition generally, you should contact an attorney, specifically maybe talk to Mr. Harrison.
Yes,
all right, the last thing that we're going to do is your fingerprints. I believe Deputy Gregory was there with you earlier, and if you would ask him to come over, he's going to take your fingerprints so we'll all know it was you here on this call.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I'll go home with my family.
I'm very happy for you, Ms. Ross.
Thank you, Judge Kennedy, too, okay?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you. Is
Thank
Deputy
you
Gregory
so
there?
much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
y'all.
Is Deputy Gregory there taking your fingerprints?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Thank you. Deputy Gregory's going to send those over to the court, and we'll put those with your judgment. Good luck to you, Ms. Ross.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, all y'all. I can't call all y'all name right now.
That's okay, Ms. Ross. Thank you too, and good luck to
Thank you
you.
for having patience with me, Judge Kennedy, and thank you, Mr. Harris, and the prosecutor and all y'all.
Ms. Ross, call me if you have any questions or need anything.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you all. Anything further from the state?
Yeah, it's not on the case, but I would like to say on behalf of the state of Texas and the Smith County District Attorney's Office, we want to thank you for your many years of service on this bench. I think certainly your constituents and the citizens of Smith County are better off for it. You set a very high bar, both in person and in virtual. We're going to take that baton and run with it, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm counting on you, Mr. Coltman.
Hey, Judge Kennedy.
Yes, ma'am.
Enjoy your life. You heard me?
Thank you. You enjoy your life too, Ms. Ross. We're both
God
getting-
bless you, and I thank you so much. You hear me? And I love you too. I do. I
Thank you.
never let them people tell me nothing bad about you. I took up for you every time they said that.
Thank you. Well, we're both getting out the same day, so good for us.
I watch you a lot of times how you have mercy on them people. I've been in and out of your courthouse on this same charge for a long time. And I seen you sentence and help, you do your job, but you help them people. You hear me? And I told him, I said, she's not like that. She's a blessing, and I love you, and God bless you, and I thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Ms. Ross.
And
Mr.
all
Harris,
y'all.
anything else from you from the defense?
No, I would echo everything that Mr. Coltman said, Your Honor. We very much appreciate your service to the community and your considerations to us all the time and to the defense bar as a whole. Thank you, Judge.
That's the same thing I was saying thank you for your service too.
Thank you. Well, I really wasn't fishing for compliments, but anyway, thank you all very much. Hello, Ms. Milo. I see you down there. All right. Thank you all very much for